The city of Rochester shaken by violence at an unlikely place. 7 people shot outside the Boys and Girls Club of Rochester. 4 are expected to recover, but 3 of them, including 2 teenagers, were killed.
It bothers me because all these scenes are all too familiar. We've been here before in the same spot, and these kids are connected. They're friends.
This tonight, someone driving by and shooting into a crowd is senseless. Please find them. Bring them into justice. Bring them in. Let these victims have a voice. Somebody has to speak for the silenced. Rochester, stop killing black men. Stop it.
We have team coverage for you this midday, and Matt Malloy is at the Public Safety Building for the latest on the police search for suspects. He's also going to bring us word from Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren. Hannah Welker live at Strong Memorial. She is talking about how the victims were treated at the hospital. Jennifer Johnson is outside the Boys and Girls Club on Genesee Street, where a vigil wrapped up not that long ago near the scene of the shooting. It is a breaking news story we've been bringing you for the last 12 hours. For the second time in the last month, young lives lost outside of a place of refuge, a community center. The victims, 17-year-old Jonah Barley on the right and 19-year-old Raekwon Manigault on the left. Still no word yet on the name of the 3rd victim. 4 others, as we said, shot and hospitalized, but they're expected to survive. The drive-by shooting took place just after 11 last night at the Boys and Girls Club on Genesee Street. Police Chief Michael Simonelli says shots were fired as a group left a basketball game at the Boys and Girls Club. All right, let's get right to our team coverage with Jennifer Johnson. We'll start with her. She's live on Genesee Street, not far from where the shooting happened. Jen?
Norma, it literally happened right where we are, right in this parking lot. A different scene now. A group called Rise Up Rochester, a group of families of murder victims. They get together regularly to support one another, normally meeting on Saturday. Today, calling an emergency meeting here at the Boys and Girls Club. And they've just gathered a whole bunch of people together, and a lot of the speakers have finished. But as you take a look at this group, some of the things that were said during this, Rochester is a family, not a community. You need help? Give me a call. We need to come together. Some people saying we need to pray, some people saying we need to turn to our religious leaders, and other people retorting saying, you know what, everyone, where are you when you vote? You have a choice in who leads our community. You come out here and complain when something sad happens, but don't have a voice on election day. So a few different viewpoints being voiced here today. You see people standing. They were also down on the ground here. They brought some chalk, and one of the sayings in blue says, say their name. So we're going to. Jonah Barley, age 17, and 19-year-old Raekwon Manigault. We learned a little bit about them from their families, starting with Manigault, whose family says he volunteered with a program called Pathways to Peace.
He was a very warm, loving kid. Everybody loved him. Anywhere where he went, everybody had a lot of respect for him. You know what I mean? And all I can say is it's sad, man, and hopefully, you know, this won't happen again tomorrow to somebody else's child.
Jonah was a typical kid. 17-year-old, you know, come December, it would have been 2 years that he had actually fought for his life. He had got into a real bad car accident, and he was spared to give another chance, and to be taken the way he was taken tonight was just really senseless.
Melody also saying that Jonah had a contagious smile. Again, 3 people died from the shooting that happened in this parking lot. We're still waiting for the identity of the 3rd, but this vigil that started about 11:40 or so that brought together elected officials and really just moms bringing their kids in strollers here together, chanting, we need change. Live on Genesee Street, Jennifer Johnson, 13 WHAM News.
Jennifer, thank you. Again, 3 were killed, but 4 more were shot and sent to the hospital for treatment. Hannah Welker joining us now with more on the condition of those victims and how they were cared for at Strong Memorial Hospital. We're hearing from the doctors today, right, Hannah?
Yeah, Norma, the hospital actually just wrapped up a press conference with the chair of emergency medicine, Dr. Michael Kamali. The focus of the press conference, how those 4 victims are doing right now and how the hospital handled last night's mass shooting. Dr. Kamali does say 2 out of those 4 victims have already been released from the hospital right now. 2 are still getting cared for here. As far as the staff goes last night, he's so incredibly proud with how the staff handled it. The timing of the shooting actually lined up with shift change that allowed for more staff to be available to care for a lot of these patients. But he still says this situation deeply saddens him and the rest of the hospital.
Most of these that we deal with are accidents. Last night events were not accidents. This is senseless violence that seems to be a plague upon our society. And we as emergency physicians and staff within hospitals are becoming numb to it a little bit, to a large extent, because we see it so commonly.
Yep, and the 2 patients, the 2 victims that are still here at Strong, one is in guarded condition, the other one in satisfactory condition. Both, Dr. Kamali says, are in non-life-threatening situations, non-life-threatening injuries. Reporting live from Strong Memorial Hospital, I'm Hannah Welker, 13 WHAM News.
Hannah, thank you. Very interesting comments from Dr. Kamali there. We're going to turn now to Matt Malloy. He joins us live at the Public Safety Building downtown with more on the investigation. While we wait for the police to brief the media, you've heard from Mayor Lovely Warren.
Yeah, Norma, and actually the mayor just in the last hour leaving a meeting with both the chief and the command staff right here at the Public Safety Building. The mayor and the chief stressing that they've got every resource dedicated to tracking down who is responsible for this mass shooting. Now, prior to coming to the Public Safety Building this morning, the mayor actually stopped by the scene on Genesee Street. There she spoke about the need to bring those responsible to justice and also talked about the need for help from the community in this. Any tips, anybody that could come forward and help police track down those responsible for this mass shooting. The mayor talked about how this hits close to home, not just for her and for that neighborhood, but she says this impacts the entire community. And she revealed to us this morning that actually one of her summer interns at the city of Rochester was there at that shooting last night. Take a listen.
My summer intern was here as well yesterday, and a body dropped right next to her. And so this is something that, no matter who it is, it hits close to home because it affects us all. Whenever you lose a loved one, whenever someone is shot, whenever someone is, lost in this community, it affects us all.
Yes, so the mayor and the police chief meeting this morning talking about the latest on this investigation. We are expecting an update around the 1 o'clock hour, a press briefing held by police, and we'll bring you any updates, Norma, as we get them as this investigation moves forward. We're live at the Public Safety Building this afternoon. Matt Malloy, 13 WHAM.
Matt, we'll check back with you when that press briefing happens. We spoke to City Councilman Adam McFadden this morning. He grew up in that same neighborhood where the shootings happened. McFadden himself, he says, was once in a gang. We spoke with him this morning on Good Day Rochester about what it will take to help put an end to inner city violence, especially among youth.
I really think this is a matter of individuals have to decide, just like I had to decide what it was that I wanted to do or become. I think people think that government or the police can magically push a button and all of a sudden people will change their lives. Mm-hmm. And it starts with that individual who wants to change. I can't convince or mentor any kid that is unwilling to meet me halfway.
Again, City Councilman Adam McFadden speaking quite candidly about his thoughts regarding the mass shooting. Now, we'd like to recap our story in case you are just joining us. 7 people were shot outside the Boys and Girls Club of Rochester just after 11 o'clock last night. 4 are expected to recover, but 3 of them, including 2 teens, were killed. And in just about an hour from now, the Rochester Police Department will hold a press briefing, giving us the latest on the investigation. That is expected again to happen between 1 and 1:30. We will live stream that press conference on 13wham.com so you won't miss it.